I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of on my own. Won't you help me, girl, just as soon as you can?
Hey y'all, it's your girl Atavia, and today's video, I originally planned, if y'all watch Damon Dominique, a really cool YouTuber, he does these things like red wine talks that I had planned to do for this video. But one, I don't drink. Two, my special guest, there were some complications, so we couldn't get it coordinated like I wanted it to. So you know what? We gonna do some orange juice talks. Go ahead, grab your glass. We still gonna be fancy. Grab some OJ and let's get to chatting. Before we get into this video, make sure you give it a big old thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button down below so you can see more like this in the future and you can be notified when I post, because I post every week.
That's a lie.
All right, over on my Instagram, I asked y'all if you had any specific questions about being a black au pair, and in this week's video, I'm gonna tell you guys the truth about being a black au pair, cause we're rare, and you know, I'm not gonna rhyme no more. All right, first question from Instagram is, did you ever encounter any racist comments / remarks? And if so, how did you deal with it? Racism in Paris or in France, I don't know. It's kind of disguised. It's like not addressed. Whereas in America, racism, we know it's there. I don't think that a lot of parents are addressing black people or blackness, because let's be real, they have a lot of money. They don't even have to think about black issues, and a lot of people choose not to. But a lot of kids will point out, hey, you're really brown, hey, you're so dark. And I've learned that in general, being a nanny, that kids will point out my skin color, and that lets me know that they're not being taught about the differences between people's skin and their cultures and stuff. I've had many kids point out that I was black, that I was brown, that my skin is brown, and that they find it funny that my skin is brown. And it's like, what are you teaching your kids? Why is it funny that my skin is brown?
And my host mom was like, oh, the girls made some cookies for a snack if you want some. So I go downstairs and the girls are like, we made this one for you. And it was like a little gingerbread woman, and she was covered in chocolate. And then the mom was like, oh, the black one is for you. And I was like, okay.
No ma'am.
As I'm growing up and learning more about my blackness, I feel like I should have said something, and I should have said that it wasn't okay. But in the past, I didn't, and I just brushed it off.
And I'm a strong black woman.
And I think my experience being a black American in Paris is going to be different, and is different from being a black French person. It's kind of the exoticism of being a foreigner. You know what I mean? I do have a situation that happened to me with this previous family, and I want to know you guys' opinion. In the moment, I passed it off as xenophobia because, again, people here can be very xenophobic. They don't like change, but it could have been a racist thing because I usually have conflicts with older French people. I was living on this private road, which is only accessible if you either have a gate pass or like the key code. It's not a public street. So that's where I lived with this host family. They lived there, and I had my studio next door to them. You guys know I'm an influencer. I take pictures of myself all the time. I was basically in the street doing my thing, posing, bow. This car drives up to me and they start angrily speaking to me in French, like, what are you doing here? Why are you on the street? What are you doing? Are you taking pictures of our houses? Are you a tourist? Why are you on our street? And in French, this is all in French, I'm explaining to them, hey, I'm the family's au pair. I've been living here for like a month now. I live here just as you do. My apartment's right there. Why are you upset? And they're like, oh, I've never seen you here before. There's no way you live here. You can't be doing this on our street. And I'm just like, y'all, I'm taking pictures of myself. I don't care about y'all crustiness, okay? I don't care. Not bothering anyone, being respectful, and moving to the side of the street if a car came by, because I'm respectful. So I'm like, whatever. I go about my day. I move on. I take my pictures, and then I leave. So at this time, my host family was on vacation or like gone for the weekend. And then when they come back, we have a conversation and they tell me that the neighbors complained to them about me being on the scaffolding on the roof, having a party with my friends and making a lot of noise.
I want to see the receipts.
Let's do another question. Have you or anyone you know ever worked for a black family? Yes, but I don't really know them. Somebody just commented on my video like, oh my gosh, girl, you inspired me to be an au pair. She comes back and she's like, oh my gosh, I found a black family. I've been meaning to catch up with her and see how it's going. But that's the only person that I've ever heard of having a black family. All right, next question. My mom keeps saying I'll just be like the black help for a white family. How to help this? Baby, it's true. It is something that we have to face. A lot of families who can afford having au pairs are usually trash because they've had probably money in their family for so long that it doesn't matter if they treat people like people or not. I don't know the difference of feeling like the help period than feeling like the black help, but I always found it hard to not feel like the help in general. The only family that I had confidence that I wasn't just the help, that I was like being appreciated as part of the family, was the family I had in Spain. So to deal with this, I would say, first of all, know your worth and speak up if you ever feel like you're being mistreated or being treated only as the help. That's something I did a lot with this last family I had, and I kind of feel like that's why we had issues, because I wasn't just taking on their crap. But that's what you need to do, and even if it might be at risk of losing a host family, it's super important for your mental health to not push through and to not just feel like you're tripping and you're stupid. So be aware of the signs. There's really no way to avoid it. Trust your instinct. Y'all are giving me hard questions and I'm glad to talk about it. This is something I've never talked about on my channel, racism and all that. So kudos. All right, next question. What do you do about your hair? Protect it, because the weather out here is wild. If you're going to a foreign country, I would say you're a black person, bring as many supplies as you can, because it might take a lot longer for you to find something in a different country, or you might not ever find something that you need. So this time around, I brought everything I needed. I brought my curly hair supplies, I brought all that. But luckily I'm in Paris and there's a lot of stores. But when I was in Spain, I never found a hair care store and my hair showed. Learn how to do a lot of stuff yourself and don't be afraid to pop on a wig.
Hallelujah.
Facebook is very helpful. For Paris, I found this Facebook group of hairstylists specifically in Paris and the suburbs that can come to you, get your hair done for good prices. That was helpful. That's how I got my box braids done. Finding where the black people are at, honestly. If you find black people, you're probably gonna find a black hair care store. Are there any countries that you feel are worse for black people? Only place that really stands out for me is in Italy. I haven't traveled to that many countries yet, but Italy stands out for me because I was in this small town called Palermo in Sicily, and literally as I was walking down the street, there were people in their little shops staring at me, people walking down the street staring at me. It was like everyone in this city had their eyes on me, and I felt like that even in Rome. I mean, not as much because Rome was a lot bigger, but definitely in smaller towns you can feel the stares and the gawking and so I can't say if it's worse. I don't know. There is racism literally everywhere and you have to be aware of that. Are there any major differences being black in the US versus being black in France? Someone might be racist, but then I talk and they can hear my American accent and they're like, oh my gosh, a foreigner, help me with my English.
My friends were going out with like a group of French friends that they've met from college, university, and they went to a bar, a club, and the bouncer let all of the French people in, And then when it came time for my American friends to go in, he rejected all of them.
This is something I very, very obviously noticed when I was looking for host families here in France. I come with a lot of experience. I've been taking care of kids for a long time. I've been an au pair multiple times. I know a lot about kids. So I would notice, and I did a specific experiment to know if I was tripping or not, and I wasn't. But I noticed the blonde hair, little white girl, blue eyes always got chosen more than I did. But I did this test on a Facebook group for nannies, and I saw that the girl with the blonde hair, blue eyes, the normal white girl, brunette, all that was getting a lot of responses. And I would post and I was getting nothing. I thought maybe it's what I was saying, so I decided to copy exactly one of their posts and just put my own pictures up. And the amount of responses I got versus the amount of responses they got for the same exact content was drastic. So that's why I say racism is very hush hush. You don't talk about it. Oh, it doesn't exist. It's not a thing here. We're so forward thinking, and they're not. Is it hard fitting in, making friends, being the only black person? I guess I see what you're saying, like connecting with people because they're not black. 99% of the time you're going to be the only black person. And in fact, the other person that was going to be in this video was the first black au pair I met in Paris. Again, my own experience, I've been the only black friend in plenty of my groups. But I guess if you're used to having a lot of friends of color, maybe it would be hard to relate. In general, I think it's a little harder to make friends as an adult. But luckily, if you're an au pair, it's a lot easier to make friends because there are so many other people looking for friends, and because they're alone in a new country and they're just like, what do I do? Being an au pair gives you that excuse to meet new people because either you're going to language courses with these people, or there's a special au pair thing happening for these people, or a special student event happening. So you're a lot more likely to make friends just by being an au pair. Now, can we get real about the hair? The hair. I went into au pairing knowing that I didn't feel like explaining black hair to white people. It can be very much a thing. So I think it was interesting that you took on that journey. How was it?
Well, it was involuntarily. I was sitting on the floor and I was playing with the girls, and then they wanted to like try a headband or a hat on my head. So they took off my headband, and at the time my lace front was like all messed up. At first they saw the front was like not natural, and I was like, it's like not my hair, and they were just like so confused. So they ran to get their mom, and they were like, Mimi's hair isn't real. The whole house has to like come and examine my head.
No way.
Don't feel the fall.
Seem to have handled it pretty calmly.
I mean, but inside I was very annoyed.
If you're curious about black hair, do your own research. We don't all have to be there to explain to you how it works.
I said what I said.
Thank you guys for staying tuned to the end. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. I had a lot of fun filming it. Now, you guys, comment down below if you would want to see other black au pairs talk about their experience being an au pair. Because there's like 3 or 4 of us right now in Paris, and you know, I'm gonna try to contact them if y'all want to see that video. So go ahead, comment down below, and you know, I'll see what I can do. And that's all I have for this week's video. So until next time, bye y'all. Since I got my afro out, my camera doesn't want to focus no more. Because it's like, girl, you got all this hair, where's your face? I get it. But you got one job, and it's to focus, so do your job.